Hey, welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm the House Hacker. Today I want to talk about how I make money living in my house. I do something called house hacking, hence the name of the channel, The House Hacker. What I do is I bought a house and I rent out rooms within the house, and that covers all of my costs and then a little bit more. Some people house hack by getting duplexes or triplexes and then living in one side or one of the pieces and then renting out the other areas. In my specific area, I was unfortunately unable to find any good duplexes or triplex. I wasn't able to find any. So I was stuck looking at properties which were large, that had enough space that I could rent out to an adult. A lot of the townhomes, for example, were not able to fit an adult in a lot of the rooms. So I purchased a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom house. I didn't want to overcrowd it, so I stay in one room and I rent 4 other rooms. Now, the benefit with that is I get to manage the property from a hands-on approach because I'm living on site. And at the same time, I get to mitigate all of my costs. And there's also some tax benefits to living in the house that you're also renting rooms out of. One of the major benefits that you get from living on site is that you can get a mortgage loan instead of a business loan, which is a substantially lower interest rate. My interest rate is down to 2.25%. Versus if it was a business loan, I'd be looking at something in the ballpark of 4%. With 2.25% interest rate, I'm better off not paying it off any faster than I have to, because inflation will increase beyond that. And I may get into that in a future video of the benefits of not paying off your loan early. On the other hand, you're going to have a common area that you're going to need to maintain, especially if you have 2 or 3 different tenants. No one is going to want to take responsibility for common area messes like the trash that everybody's contributing to, and so nobody feels like they're individually responsible for. So you need to take the initiative in these situations to be the person that takes out the trash, that runs the dishwasher, that empties the dishwasher, vacuums the common area, or you can hire a service, which is something I eventually did. But all those would end up falling on your plate, which, if you think about it, those are all responsibilities you'd be doing anyways, if you were living by yourself. You just have to do it a little bit more frequently now that you have tenants. And if you look at how much you're getting out of it, you're honestly better off. But I understand what you're thinking. You're unsure if this is the right path forward for you because nobody really enjoys having roommates. They can be a bit of a pain, and it's something a lot of us leave behind when we graduate from college. But there are major advantages with doing it this way. There's increased profits, as well as you get to experience property management from a hands-on perspective, which will help prepare you when you try and expand to additional properties. So let's dive right into it. The part that you guys are all here for, what do the numbers look like? So to kind of preface this part, I did drop my prices when COVID hit. So my total rent rate went down by about $800 since I dropped every room by $200. I am currently bringing in about $4,500 per month in rent. The number fluctuates depending on which discounts I offer different tenants depending on their situation. Like if they're gone on extended leave, they get additional discounts because I encourage people to hold on to the room if they're on extended leave. Or I also offer military discounts. My mortgage cost is at $3,400, which is about just over $1,000 less. And that includes insurance, interest, equity, and taxes. My utilities, I actually just did a 15-month average for the sake of this video, and my 15-month average on all my utilities, which is water and waste, internet, gas and electric, since I cover all of those, looks at it's about $390. And from the mortgage, the $3,400, about $1,200 of that is equity. So I provide my tenants with fully furnished rooms, and the common areas are fully furnished with all the supplies that they need, from the dishwasher to the washing machine to the dryer. Everything is maintained, covered. They don't really need to bring anything but the clothes on their back to move in. I also provide my tenants with a monthly snack that I put in the common area. It's about $10 a month that I budget to just purchase a different treat or snack that I can put into the common area that anyone can come and grab. And I tried to create an environment that everybody would enjoy for the place that they're staying. So I even had a tenant that had to move away for career reasons and then was back in the area and then moved back in. I also offer my tenants flexibility in terms of their leases. I can offer a long-term lease, which comes with a discount, or I can offer a month-to-month lease, which is terminated within a 30-day notice. Now, after doing this for 2 years, there's a couple lessons that I learned that I'd like to share with you so that when you go out and you try this out, that you're able to do this without hitting some of the issues that I ran into. Avoid the budget tenants. You're going to have tenants who are going to want to pack into a room. Avoid that. It's going to cause you issues with your neighbors, which dives into the next part. Good neighbor relations is key. You do not want angry neighbors, and this goes for anywhere you move. You know, an angry neighbor can make your life difficult, regardless of whether or not you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Angry neighbors can just make things difficult. Fortunately, all of my neighbors are great, and I've worked hard to try and maintain a positive relationship with all of them. But the big thing that I learned that in order to kind of keep neighbors happy is you don't want to get close to overcrowding. Even the perception of the possibility that there are too many people could irritate neighbors because of the increased traffic, especially if they're in a quieter, because I'm in a quieter area. So you'd want to avoid any situation. So I saw one landlord try and load up 20 different people into their house. And that can be pretty risky. And I imagine the substantially increased foot traffic would create a lot of tension with the neighbors. I've avoided the overcrowding issue by having no more than 5 people at most at any given point in time, even though the house is a 6-bedroom, 6 full bathroom house. And because I encourage my tenants to hold on to their room when they're on travel for work, it's pretty rare to find more than 3 people on the property at any given point in time. Now I wanted to dive into how I picked this specific property and why I made the decision to get this property instead of any other one. A lot of real estate investors will caution you away from properties that make less than 1% of the cost of the property. So if your property is worth $100,000, it should be able to bring in $1,000 a month in rent. If you can't do that, that's the golden rule, 1%. In the area that I'm at, unfortunately, it's not a very good real estate area. You would be lucky to find over 0.6%, which makes this really challenging. So instead, I approached this from a different perspective. I looked at the number of bedrooms, and then I looked at an estimate on how much I can charge per bedroom, and then how much it would cost me to pay per month. And then I kind of fluctuated that, and then I made some estimates for surprise costs that would end up coming up. And that's how I kind of arrived at the number here. And so the income from this property is about 0.7%. And the house has gone up $150,000 since I purchased it. And for the millennials and Gen Zers out there that are not confident that they'll be able to purchase a property like the previous generations, this may be a financial alternative for you that'll enable you to do things that you may not feel that you could. That's all I had to share with you guys today. If you guys liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks.